welcome back for Eureka Module 4, Lesson 4. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, our objective looks very familiar because this was our objective in Lesson 3, but it's still our objective now, and we're just going to find another way to add and subtract multiples of 10 and some ones within 100. Things to remember are multiples of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100, and beyond. As long as you're counting by 10, it's a multiple of 10. The next one is difference. Now, I've been using the word difference a lot, and we haven't really practiced it, but today we are going to make sure that we know what that word means because we're going to be using it a lot. So, difference means the answer to a subtraction problem or finding the difference when comparing two numbers. And equal, remember, equal does not mean the answer to a problem. Equal schmequal, it means it's the same as. So everything needs to balance, and we're going to talk about that a lot today. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and jump right into our lesson, and let's go ahead and start by looking at this. I have some number cubes. I have some green number cubes, and I have a yellow one. So let's go ahead and see why I have this up here. So before we begin, how many green cubes do I have? Well, I have 6 on that side, and I have 4 on that side. So if I have 6 on that side and 4 on the other side, I have 10 green cubes. Now, how many yellow cubes are there? Well, I just have 1. I don't really need to count that. And how many cubes are there in all? Go ahead and figure that out. And if you said 11, then you're right. There are 11 cubes in all. Now, you could have figured that out by counting them one by one, or maybe you knew that I said 6 plus 4 was 10, and then one more is 11. Let's use these number cubes to kind of teach us something, and then we're going to move on to something that's a little harder, but this concept is going to help us. When I look right here and I circle the 4 with the 1, how many do I have? I have 5 on this side. So my number sentence to figure out how many cubes are there in this whole line, I can say 6 plus 5 equals 11. But what if I take that away and I decide to go around this side? Well, I can say that 6 and 1 more is 7. So this number sentence would be 7 and 4 more equals 11. Okay, now we're going to look at this in a tape diagram model. So now I have my tape diagram right here, and you can see I have it laid out the same way I had those cubes laid out. Remember, if you remember, I had 6 green cubes, 1 yellow cube, and 4 green cubes. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine these two together, and then that makes 5. So if I'm going to combine that together, my number sentence would be 6 plus 5 equals 11. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this side now. And I have 6 plus 1, and that equals 7. So what would my number sentence look like now? It would be 7 plus 4 equals 11. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you. 7 plus 4 equals 11. Now, do you remember the total, what they all equaled together? That's right, they all equaled 11. Now, you probably look at that number sentence and you go, whoa, that's a lot. But remember the equal sign? Every time we get there, we can say 6 plus 5 equals 7 plus 4 equals 11. But I want you to look at this equal sign as meaning the same. Because if I do that, then I can understand this a little bit better. Because 6 plus 5 is the same as 7 plus 4. We get to the same answer, and that is 11. So let's go ahead and say that sentence like this. 6 plus 5 is the same as 7 plus 4 is the same as 11. So let's go ahead and practice. I have 28 plus 36. When I look at those numbers and I put them in a tape diagram like that, I don't know what to do. Both of those numbers are not friendly numbers, and I can't just add them in my head. So let's get rid of that tape diagram. Instead, let's look at it like this, 28. Now, we've been talking about friendly numbers since we started Eureka. So I have 28, and I want to get to my next friendly number. So when I think of the next friendly number, I think of the number 30. So when I have 28, how many more do I need to get to 30? 28, 29, 30. I only need 2 more. So let's go ahead and put a 2 right there. Now that I have 28 plus 2, well, I know that these two together equal 30. But I'm not done. I have to add 28 plus 36. So what should I put right here? Should I put a 36? No, because if I put a 36 there, then I'm going to have a number that's too many, too big, because I added this 2 right here. So let's go ahead and get rid of that 36 and figure out what we're going to put there. Now I needed a 2 to get to 30, so where did I get that 2 from? Well, really what I kind of did was I kind of decomposed this number right here, and I took a 2 from there. And I have to put what's left right here. So let me see, 36 and 2 less, so 35, 34. I'm taking away 2 ones. So that becomes 34. So that is what I'm going to put right there. So this is my new tape diagram. Instead of 28 plus 36, I have 28 and 2, which makes 30, so I clump them together. So now I have 30 plus 34. That seems like it's a lot easier to add. So I'm going to go ahead and put this number sentence here. We started off with 28 plus 36. But we changed it to be 30 plus 34 by just adding 2. We took 2 numbers away from the 36 and gave them to the 28 and made a friendly number. And look how friendly it made this math problem. I can do this in my head very easily because I know 34, 44, 54, and 64. So I know that that equals 64. Now look at our number sentence. 28 plus 36 is the same as 30 plus 34, and that is also the same as 64. We're teaching you these math strategies so that way mental math becomes a little easier, because sometimes we don't always have a calculator nearby or a piece of paper and a pencil. But if you can do this with numbers in your head, you can add and subtract these numbers in your head without it being too hard. So let me show you what this would look like in your workbook. Now it would just look like this. 61 plus 29 equals blank equals blank. Whoa, that doesn't look easy to do at all, but it is. So let's go ahead and start with our tape diagram. And there it is, a rectangle, a square, and a rectangle. It's that simple. Now, what are we going to put there? Well, I have to look at these numbers and I have to decide which number is easiest to get to my next friendly number. I have a 1 and I have a 9 in the ones place there. So I know that if I have a 9, I just have to add 1 more to get to my next friendly number. So I'm going to work with 29. So there it is, 29. And how many more do I need to make that a friendly number? 29, 30. So there's our 1. So let's go ahead and make that 30, just like that. So what's left? Well, remember, I can't put 61 because I kind of used 1 from 61 to make this a friendly number. But the beauty of this problem is that 61 has a 1 in it, so I just have to take that 1 away. So 61, and if it's 1 less, it is 60. So now, instead of being 61 plus 29, I just have to do 60 plus 30. So if we look at our equation now, it looks just like that. 61 plus 29 is the same as 60 plus 30. So what's my answer? This I can do in my head, and I can even share it out loud with you. So I have 60, and I'm going to jump 3 tens. So 60, 70, 80, 90. So 60 plus 30 equals 90. Okay, now I've shown you how to use a tape diagram with addition. So how are we going to use a tape diagram with subtraction? Let's go ahead and do that. But before we get started on that, let me introduce you to the concept. I have 5 yellow cubes, and down below you can see I have 5 yellow cubes, but I also have 3 red cubes. What is the difference between 8 and 5? Because on the top I have 5, and then on the bottom I have 8, because that's 5 and 3. So what is the difference? Well, do you see this little area right here where I kind of have extra? Well, that right there is the difference. So you can see that my difference is 3, because I have 3 extra. So that's the difference between the two. So if I'm going to make this into a tape diagram, the tape diagram would look like this. 8, and then part of the 8 is 5, and I put a question mark there because at first I didn't know. But now I know the answer, so I can put a 3 there. So I have 8 is 5 and 3. Or I can say 8 is 3 more than 5. Or if I want to write this in a subtraction sentence, it would look like this. 8 minus 5 equals 3. Also, one thing I left out is this looks an awful lot like a number bond, doesn't it? I can have an 8, a 5, and a 3. It's kind of like a fact family. Okay, I'm going to be working with the same numbers, but something's going to be a little different. Let's check it out. Ooh, I have 5 yellow, but I added 1 green. Let's see what the next one looks like. Same thing, I added a green. So now I'm thinking, if I add 1 more to 5 and 8, will the difference change? So I used to have 5 yellow cubes, but now I have 5 and 1. Here I used to have 8 cubes, but now I have 8 and 1. So this is 6 and 9. So is my difference going to change, or is it going to stay the same? What do you think? It stayed the same. So let me show you what that looks like in a tape diagram. I started with my 8 and my 5, and I didn't know the difference. But then I added these 2 green pieces right there. So did my difference change? No, it didn't change. So my difference is still 3. So let me show you another tape diagram that shows you what that is. 9 is the whole, and 6 and 3 are my parts. So 9 is 3 more than 6. Or I can say 9 take away 6 equals 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and try something different. Oh, now I added 2 green. And I added 2 green there. Does the difference change if I add 2 more? Well, if you look at my difference, did it change? No, it's still the same. It's still 3. So if I look at my tape diagram, you can see that I have 8 and 5, and then I just added 2, but my difference is still the same. It's still 3. It doesn't matter how many I add here. It can be 7, 6, 10, 50. As long as it's the same on the top and the bottom, and the 8 and the 5 stay the same, my difference will always be the same. So my new tape diagram would look like this. The 10 is the whole, and 7 and 3 are the parts. So 10 is 3 more than 7, or I can write it like this. 10 take away 7 equals 3. Now, why am I sharing this with you? because when we get to our next step of math problems with subtraction, you're going to see why this is going to help us. So remember, we're finding the difference. So I have a question to ask you. Would you rather solve 47 take away 28? Or would you rather solve 49 take away 30? Well, I like a challenge. So we are going to solve 47 take away 28. So let's go ahead and show that in a tape diagram. 47 is the whole, and then 28 is my part. I am trying to find the missing variable, or the difference. So before I go any further, which number would be the easiest to make a friendly number? I'm looking at the 8 right here because I know when I have 8, if I add 2 more, I get to my next 10, which is 28, 29, 30. I want to get to 30, so I'm going to have to add 2 more to the bottom and the top. Remember my linking cubes? As long as I add 2 to the top and 2 to the bottom, the difference will stay the same. So you'll get the same answer. So let's go ahead and look at our new tape diagram. I have 28 plus 2, and I have 47 plus 2, and I need to find the missing variable. So what is 28 and 2? Well, 28, 29, 30. So I know that I'm going to put 30 here, and then for 47, I'm going to put 47, 48, 49. So my new tape diagram looks like this. 49 is the whole, 30 is the part, and we still don't know the missing variable or the difference. So let's go ahead and figure that out. 49 take away 30. I can do that problem in my head. So 49, let's count backwards. 49, 39, 29, and 19. I took away 3 tens. So if 49 take away 30 equals 19, that means that 47 take away 28 equals 19. So do you remember on that would you rather slide, I asked you if you would rather solve this problem or this problem? Well, I tricked you and we solved both. But it's okay because solving this problem helped me find the difference to solving this problem. So let's go ahead and look at our number sentence. It looks like this. 47 take away 28 is the same as 49 take away 30, and that is the same as 19. All right, let's go ahead and try one more. Now, I'm showing you this one because this is what it would look like in your workbook. 32 take away 19, and then you see a line, and then you see equals, and then you see another line, and then you see a tape diagram that looks like this. So how are we going to solve this? Well, let's go ahead and start with the whole. I know that the whole is 32, so I'm going to move that down to right there, and we're going to put that on top. Now the second number that I'm left with is 19, and where does that go? You're right, it goes right here on the bottom. So now I have the 32 and the 19 in place, and I need to find the missing variable right there. So which number can I make into a friendly number pretty easily? I'm looking at that 19 right there. If I make my 19 into the next 10, which is 20, well, that'll give me a friendly number. But remember, if I give 1 to 19, I also have to give 1 to 32. So there's my 1 to the 32. So look at what my tape diagram looks like now. I have 33 take away 20, and then there's that missing variable. So I'm going to put that right there because 32 take away 19 is the same as 33 take away 20. So what does that equal to? I can do that in my head. So 33 take away 2 tens, I have 23, and then I have 13. And that's how I get my answer. So that's it for our lesson today. Remember, if you have any questions, please let me know. Please email me and we'll help you answer those. But let's go ahead and practice and see what our seesaw assignment for the day is. Okay, so your first assignment is one that I copied straight from the workbook, and it is 29 plus 46. And then they did most of it for you. They already have the tape diagram filled out for you right here. So look, 29 and one more is 30. And they have 45 on this side because look, they gave 1 from the 46 to the 29 and made it a nice friendly number. They made it 30. So 30 plus 45, and we can solve that because we have our friendly equation right here, 30 plus 45. So go ahead and finish that number sentence. And then we have a subtraction one right here. And it says 23 take away 9 equals 24 take away 10. They already did this part for you, but I want to know, how did they make this 24 and how did they make this 10? What did they add? And then I want you to tell me what the missing variable is. Remember, the missing variable is the same as the answer right there. So go ahead and get those done and let's see how you do. And then I have a review problem that I want you guys to do. Complete the pattern. We've been talking about working with multiples of 10. So here we have 84, 74, 64. Finish the pattern. Which way am I going? And then I want you to make your own pattern using the plus 10 rule. I'm not giving you a starting number. I want you to go ahead and do that on your own. So anything plus 10. So plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 10. It's your pattern, so you tell me what it's going to look like. And that's it. I hope you guys learned a lot. And remember, if you have any questions, reach out to me and we'll talk later. Bye.